them.
What's that?
They're apriums?
It's an aprium. That's
Thank
where you
you.
keep birds, idiot.
I like studying aprium science.
Did you see I found out my car's birthday today?
How?
I installed the new battery. And it was just like, is it November 26, 2012? I'm like, I know when you went online, Skynet.
Nice.
Where the hell did I put these notes?
You sent them to us on Facebook. So just check your Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. I'll get them.
What's happening in Santa Monica?
Bomb threat.
What?
Bomb threat on the pier.
Oh shit, forgot to clock out from work.
I like that bomb threat on the pier made her think of clocking out from work.
That's how she got off early.
I thought bombing is how you really thought about work. Oh, hey, oh, I'm me guy.
Why are you hurtful,
Why did
Jeff?
bomb threat make me think of my job?
I like your Rocco's Modern Life shirt.
Yeah, you're trying to get back on my good side.
This is like talking to a 13-year-old.
Okay, you're all streaming now.
Alright.
I'm gonna go smoke quick,
Go smoke.
and then we'll
What
come
was I
back.
gonna do? My phone just now clock out.
We'll come back to podcast. All right, idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Jeff.
I'm not an
I'm
idiot,
used to
I'm smart.
answering to it.
Jeff's an idiot.
I has a degree.
What you doing with it?
Living that sweet retired life.
Yeah.
I can't see if anyone's saying anything, but what's up?
Play with Adam's computer and then we can see it.
I'm not gonna touch Adam's computer. He's gross.
Adam touched it.
I'm gonna spit my aprium seed pit, I guess, technically. At Chet, though.
What? See? I can't trust you to be nice.
Because you're just sitting there.
I'm
This
reading
glasses
notes.
look
Why
really
didn't
good
you
on
read
you.
these notes
See,
beforehand?
I slept like 4 hours in the last 5 days.
Why? Because you're excited?
Because it's a lot of work. And I don't get to take off time from my day job. And I still had 2 doctor's appointments today.
They paying you yet?
Sometimes.
Oh no, I ate from the pit. What?
I feel like I'm a fucking teacher again.
Why?
Because it's just kids staring at their phones and
Wearing
computers.
Because
overalls.
we have a
Yeah.
shitty teacher that isn't interesting in
Well,
stimulating
you
our
wanted to
brains.
look at yourself on the thing, and I'm trying to pull up the thing. I'm in the wrong one though. I'm trying to help, Mr. May.
There's no help.
Because remember, you wanted to see people were saying stuff.
Are we on YouTube or Facebook?
I believe YouTube.
Oh, is it YouTube? Oh, I didn't chew that properly.
Real Greg Cashmanian over here. Because he choked on that.
Because he almost died.
Waterboarding himself with chicken.
You are literally choking on fruit. And you're like, what the fuck, slob?
I didn't say slob, I said chicken waterboarding.
That's fair enough. Chicken board. I wonder if I'll flavor my water if I throw my nasty pit in there.
What an idiot the guy that faked, that collected the $136,000 and then lost it all at the casino.
Oh, the Gabbets?
What an asshole.
It's found money, baby. He's playing with gravy.
Rosalba Wild. I
There's
wonder if
never
I'm
grows of me
related.
to actually play with gravy.
See PewDiePie called someone the N-word while playing a video game?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, back off. He's
Trump's
in his
America.
gaming moment. And it's like, motherfucker, heating gaming moments didn't cause fucking that word. Go wash your hands in the bathroom.
They're not that... Okay. Just making me wash my hands.
What? That seems reasonable.
It only has a little aprium on it.
Oh, that's gross. Fucking
It's pronounced-
disgusting.
It's pronounced perennium. That's the taint.
It's the taint. Chet's still wearing his Admiral hat like he's pulling rank in here.
That shit up
What
here.
is
We're
the
not
funnest
releasing
square
a
inch
spin
of flesh
podcast
to tongue
today.
punch?
Hmm?
Perineum.
What'd you say?
Perineum. What is the funnest square inch of flesh to tongue punch? Perineum. Okay.
All right, that was fun.
Playing
That was good.
mouth fucking Jeopardy or something?
Oh, I have to save the episode me and Chet just recorded.
Gonna put it on airplane mode because I've learned my lessons.
Yeah, did one of your podcasts get fucked up?
Whose?
Yours.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Fine.
I'm just saying because I've learned from other people's mistakes.
A lot of mistakes made.
The only time I've ever fucked up my podcast and I edited it out was when I accidentally kept pushing different theme song buttons on the soundboard to try and cancel out the other one, but instead I just had a chorus.
I do remember that, yes. That is not how the soundboard works.
I thought...
Oh, Jeff's microphone isn't on.
What? It's not? It's on.
But neither was Vanessa's.
You know what we missed out on Listcast? The Three's Company theme.
Come and knock on my door. We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's Company too. Burn out. Bum, bow, bow.
So now people got it.
Yep.
Or the Rocco's Modern Life theme by the B-52. Rocco's Modern Life.
They're coming out with a new Rocco's movie. The trailer is really fucking
I love the trailer.
Why did no one tell me Jeff's mic wasn't on?
Because we can't see anything.
That's your responsibility.
It's not really,
You trifling bitch.
it's not especially cool of you.
That looks like Becky Cloonan art on that coat hangers.
I love
shirt.
Becky Cloonan.
Doesn't it?
It
Looks like
could
Becky
be. Who
Cloonan.
knows?
I love the coat hangers. Also,
Coat hangers are great.
Angie and I
I wonder
noticed
what
this
their favorite
earlier.
coat hanger is.
Velvet covered. I dressed like my phone case today.
Oh, yes, you did.
Right
You
down to the
are-
green top.
You look exactly like your phone case. That is neat. I'm just waiting for the last episode to save, and then we can start. Because we're doing these back to back to back. Well, I don't have to do the third one. Oh, none of us
Follow
do.
me.
Just Vanessa and John, and I'm going to be out in the living room getting butt.
Wild.
I'm going to be editing the podcast that me and Chet just recorded.
Not much editing.
Are you going to do this podcast, Chet?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
I was
What's going
for you
on
guys.
there?
Millennials.
Millennials.
Welcome to the millennium.
I
Hold-
was just listening to that. the
Hold
other
up.
day.
Millennium.
Wait.
Don't tell me.
Millennium.
That's what I said. Millennium.
No, that was
Miami.
my joke.
That was good when you said millennium just now, Jeff.
Copyright Jeff May.
Copyright The Monday Show.
Copyright The Monday Show.
Big Willie style.
Also copyright The Monday Show.
Don't do that, Vanessa.
That's not what this means, by the way.
No, there's a... I ruined Adam's life with Big Willie style.
No, it was fine. It was
It
fine.
seems like his life's going all right.
No.
We were on a list cast. Or no, she
I
wasn't even on
sincerely
it.
love Big Willie style.
You weren't even on it.
You asked me to save it. You asked me for my honest answer.
Let's get it small.
It was Big Willie style.
What'd you get?
The drink?
Yeah.
That looks like a regular.
It's an iced tea.
Oh, it's small.
What's going?
What?
It's
How
like
is
what
It
you
this
looks
get.
like a
small?
regular.
Looks pretty small. It's a modern small. That's a large in the 60s.
That's a
but
French large.
Modern small.
That's a modern small.
That is a modern small.
You
I
want a true
suppose.
small, you go kid size.
Yep.
It's the size. I just ordered a drink and that's the cup they put it in. There was no decision.
What are those? Warby Parkers?
What?
Are those Warby Parkers?
Is that the name of a glass?
Yeah.
I suppose everyone's phone is on airplane mode now, huh?
Airplane mode.
I'm going
These are
to.
geek eyewear.
They look great.
I
you.
am going to, and then I swear to God, people watching the live
I got
stream that we
Aprium
will
under my nail.
start. I'm gonna message John
Oh, this is yours.
and have
That's not mine.
him
What?
text Angie when he
Oh
gets
yeah, let
here.
him know because he was confirming 7:30 with me, and I just switched into airplane mode.
Shout out Ann Bengston.
That's-
Sent me a nice
that's-
email after that last live stream. All the way from Norway.
Shout out from after some live
And it
stream.
got
a
here
psychic
already?
comedian
Yeah.
wants to have me on his radio show.
Wait, what?
After an episode I did, somebody heard it, and I guess they're a psychic comedian, and they just asked me to be on the radio show, and I'm
A
debating.
psychic
A
comedian's
psychic
radio
comedian
show.
wants to do a reading listen to an episode and wants to do a reading on his
A
show.
I'm
reading.
gonna be on Lauren Brenner and Miranda King's podcast soon. Remember them from the Unpops episode about the Good Wife? Everyone's favorite.
That the
I
one
don't
that
recall.
that the comments. I was just like, what is going on here? How bad
Yeah, it
could
was-
this have been?
It was
comments.
everyone's favorite episode.
Yeah.
But they were great. It was my fault. I got too high and I didn't police the room properly. I think Jeff was even a little high because he didn't seem
I was
interested
something
in
during that.
helping me police the room. It was just
I-
fucking chaos.
I
man.
gave up pretty quickly after
Yeah.
a while. I was like, yeah, fuck. It's what's different.
They'll
And-
be back. We'll do better next time.
Well, it's funny though. It's when the difference in the room between 3 guests and 4, and we're in 4 now, is so drastically different because people are so willing to pair off in conversations on mic, and it creates this fucking crazy thing.
Hey, Vanessa, is Jeff talking? Do we have to have this? Do we have to listen to him?
Yep.
No,
Okay.
I actually preferred not. I prefer that. I prefer if you
Just
just.
seeing how this works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you?
There's only 3.
Oh, hey, we're recording audio now and everything.
What?
We're not just live streaming.
What?
You get unsweetened or sweetened iced tea?
Unsweetened.
What?
I always get unsweetened. I fucking hate sweet tea.
What?
I just gave up sugar drinks like 5 years ago. And
Chet.
this is actually water with lemon.
Cheers.
Chet.
So we're having our own side conversation.
Chet!
Jeff's worst nightmare. Adam!
Move closer to Vanessa.
Vanessa, are you no longer
So
sick?
today we're talking
No,
about
I'm
the
not
good
sick
wife.
anymore.
Where's the camera? What should I be looking directly
one.
through?
Right there.
It's just that
There's
one.
only one pointing in your
Okay.
direction.
How'd you think this was going to work out?
I don't.
What was the? I like your Transformer mouse, by the way. Your new mouse.
Is it?
Devin Parker sent me this.
That looks-
and it's got about 17 to 18
Yeah.
buttons on it.
It's like
and I
a-
don't know what any of them do.
Yeah, it's like an Xbox controller looking
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's
You can play some cool games with
It's
that.
going to steal presidential secrets.
it probably will. All right, should we get started?
No.
Nope.
We don't. I mean, we're not in that much of a rush. John Fahey's not
Look,
recording
man,
until
I'm burnt.
7:30.
I'm burnt
Which
out.
means we're not recording until 8:30.
I already did all my 9/11 celebrating early,
Yeah,
so I am burnt.
it was a good cookout we had.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
I like that we did the kebabs vertical.
yeah.
I thought that was a good move.
Classless.
Oh
Oh,
no.
listen to the old PC patrol over there.
Gaining up on me.
Someone fell through the roof at work today.
Did they die?
I showed Jeff the photo. They didn't die. They were unscathed.
Well, that's kind of boring.
Lack of scathing is.
It was
not-
the funniest,
Yeah, I prefer a good scathing.
almost
when
tragedy
someone
I've ever
falls.
seen because I was on the phone with the client. I just started screaming, "Some guy fell through the roof!" Fell clean right through the roof.
That might be my favorite Jackass sketch. Was when they pretended to be diamond smuggler,
One of my
robbers,
favorites because
when
that
they're
one
dressed
guy
like cat burglars.
just took off and
Yeah.
left everybody else
Yeah,
alone.
yeah,
I
but-
love that one.
It's so like that. That might be one of the best pranks they ever did because it wasn't like gross or whatever. It was just
We shit in a
they
house.
just wore they wore all black.
Pretty
and they
funny
felt
shit in a house.
They
though.
probably did shit in a house. They just edited it out.
It did it.
Did.
Ooh,
What's
going on,
Vanessa?
what?
Ooh, weed.
Baby want dank tank.
Oh, I wonder if I don't even have enough in here to fill this thing. I'd have to go get more weed out in the other room. We're not going
it's
to do
time
that.
for that.
I know. We need to get recording.
Yeah, we got plenty of
9/11.
time.
All right.
By the time this comes out, it's like 9:13.
Yeah.
Well, let's fast track this thing. All right, let's make a nice, tight inside job. Get this thing moving.
Yeah.
What was your favorite tower to fall?
Let's get this under control.
Huh? Oh, both. It's like it's like
There's
picking
3,
your favorite
wasn't there?
kid.
Been 3.
Where's Tower 7?
Yeah, there were 3 towers that fell.
Should we do a Where Were You When the Towers Fell?
4th grade.
Oh, should we ever? All right, let's get started.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
She's a
No
child.
shit.
Yeah, she's a teenager.
No, for real though. Let's get started.
Okay.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Unpopular Opinion.
I'm
Hi.
Hello. Hey.
Why is everyone talking like this?
The Muppets were in
We're
town.
I
really
saw 'em last
stimulated. We're very stimulated. We're like
I
children.
missed it. Yeah.
It's a really good show.
I really wish
Yeah, I
were.
wish I had the money to go, but
They
I just
did
couldn't.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I didn't have the money
Mana,
to go
mana.
to that.
Do, 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 do,
Mana,
We
mana.
had
Do, do,
Bohemian
do.
Rhapsody. That's great.
Mana,
Oh,
mana.
do,
good.
do, do, do.
Yeah, it's 9/11 today.
Woo!
Yeah. We are recording on 9/11, and we're recording about 9/11. Vanessa, what was that look
Little
you just
gift of
gave the
Magi.
camera?
What?
What was that look you just gave the camera? Like you didn't approve of me and Jeff's celebratory whoop whoops about
Tragedy
9/11.
plus time. It's been enough time.
Equals
Yeah,
celebration.
When it happened, you're
I-
like, oh, maybe in 30 years this will be funny. And then you're like, in 4
You
years.
don't know if I winked with my left eye or not.
You know, in 2 years,
Left eye.
in 2 years we can fuck 9/11.
Rest in peace, left eye. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Right?
I got one of them countdowns like the Olsen twins.
Oh yeah, that's gross. Yeah, we're talking about we're talking. Well, I should introduce the guests first for people who aren't watching the
I'm
live
Jeff
stream. That voice you just heard was
because I enjoy you.
Jeff May. Oh, sick burn. It's a sick burn.
Can I get a salve for that burn?
Yes. That was Vanessa Gritton who said she's Jeff May.
That's a thing. That's my only Jeff impression.
That was a pretty good Jeff. Jeff, you seem like you're not into it.
I kind of missed it, I guess. Just said that's a thing. I don't get it.
Apparently, the rest of the room got it.
I don't get that. What is that?
I don't get it. She just said a thing. That's a thing.
Chet Wild's here.
Hello.
Sorry.
How's it going, Chet?
Good. I'm not doing any impressions.
That's a thing.
Jeff, why you gotta be mean to me? I thought
That
we
could
made
also
up.
be me today because I bit my tongue. I bit the fuck out of my tongue and I've had a lisp all day.
Did you say you thought we made up after you've been roasting me passively this entire time we've been here?
But you're coming to my house. You're part of the Fastball Show. You're hosting it. Even though you're hosting it, I think 2 people bought you tickets to get you in the door.
Yeah, that's how many people hate you.
Yeah, someone bought me a ticket, or they bought Jeff a ticket, and Jeff was like, I don't
Like,
need
I'm
it.
on the flyer, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and they were like, use it for Adam or Raquel. Like
we're all involved with.
if
we
I'm
can
not
get in on
invited,
that.
I'll just like
It's 4/5 of the stand-up lineup right here, minus Connor.
minus Connor McSpads.
You're letting him in your place?
Yeah.
That's a risky proposition.
See,
but-
everyone has that opinion of Connor. I met Connor when he's like 6 months into stand-up, and I just moved here. I just thought he was the sweetest kid. I'm like, you're gonna be super funny.
That's because he was.
Things have changed.
He was 15 when you. Met.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fastball at Chet's is happening,
happening.
September 18th, everybody.
All happening.
Yeah, my own 9/11.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 1 week away from if Fastball's
We're
like,
one
I
a
can
week
do it
away.
Monday the 11th.
1 week away.
9/11.
This is exciting, huh?
I was trying to get Harvey Danger to open up because it's a Hurricane Harvey benefit. I thought,
Oh,
having Harvey
Jesus
Danger
Come
Christ.
on, Chet.
was
you
too
fucking
much
jerk.
show. It's very exciting.
It is very exciting.
I'm excited.
Well, gee, really?
I mean, it's all.
What's
coming together.
your excited to terrified percentage?
I'm not terrified. It's just a lot of people are like,
Anxious.
all your hard work paid off. I'm like, no. The next 10 days is all the hard
Yeah.
work. Because I don't want it to just be a living room show. I want it to be like a well-captured, well-documented, like a good end product piece of content we have to put out. And we put together that video in 48
Say the
hours.
meanest joke.
Fuck off, Jeff.
I didn't.
Oh,
Whoa.
Wow.
Jeff,
Wow.
I can be mean. You were in the
can be
video.
so
I thought
mean.
you were, well, you said a nice thing. And
That's because I'm a great person.
you're an
Yeah.
okay person sometimes.
But
yeah.
you got Fastball at Chet's to happen. Congratulations. You had to fit a Harvey pun into your experience. That's fine. That's fine.
That voice you hear is Jeff May.
Wouldn't be Chet.
That's
without
Jeff
that.
May
Hey.
talking. He's here.
Hey,
Danger's
Hey.
going to play in the backyard. There's going to be a lot of good
I'd
things.
beat the shit out of Danger there.
Is there anything else you want to add about Fastball at Chet's?
No, just check.
before we
watch the video on the Unpops page and check out the Indiegogo campaign. You can like sign prints by us and T-shirts and attend the concert, or watch the live stream, or watch Gone Fishing at my house. There's 1 more of those to be claimed.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I didn't think anyone. I put that up as a bit, and the first thing before anyone donated anyone else, somebody bought the Gone Fishing at my house. 4 of the 5 are gone.
It's amazing how far irony will take you through this whole thing.
I was telling Adam, if 1 more goes, we'll do Hook. You can people can watch Hook.
Oh,
the
can
3
I?
of us, yeah. I mean, I think that people will be excited to.
You remember I
watch
said
Hook.
no to Hook and Gone Fishing last time. You
I
asked me
know,
to do
but maybe if we just watched 1 of them, you'd be on board.
that. Nah. Could do John Wick.
John Wick 2, the superior John Wick.
It is the better John Wick.
No, it is not the better John Wick.
I haven't seen it yet. But
We've
What?
already clearly
Really?
broken up into teams.
let's watch a 9/11 movie.
We should. What makes John Wick 2 better than John Wick 1?
I just enjoyed it more. It felt like
Hit it, Brett.
the later.
You know, the
scene-
hardest
there it is.
part of this show for me is the first few minutes.
I like not getting cut off on that one.
Because I spend all that time asking everyone else what's going on in their life,
And 9/11.
when all I really want to do is talk about 9/11. That's why we
all?
call this segment This Week in Me, because I did 9/11. And it's about to get almost as intense as 9/11.
A little more, maybe?
A little more. I really shred this part.
I'm going to buy a flag because I'm so influenced by this.
The people watching live stream at home can vouch for the fact that I play this myself on guitar. It's weird how I get quieter as it fades out.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
a technique I picked up.
Yeah. You'll notice I'm the only person who wore America First clothing.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I wore America First clothing. It's food.
I wore a Rocco shirt because I'm pro-Australia.
I'm wearing a Coat Hangers shirt because they're one of my favorite bands. Shout out to the Coat Hangers.
I love the coat hangers.
They're so good.
You're so good.
You're so good, idiot. Fucking idiot.
Cut it out.
Anyway, we're talking about 9/11. Specifically, we're talking about people who lie about 9/11.
9/11 liars, which is way different than 9/11 truthers.
It is very different than 9/11 truthers. If you want to hear about that, listen to this week's episode of Conspiracy the Show with me and Connor McSpadden, which is about the least and most believable conspiracy theories about 9/11. So there's a couple that aren't that far out there.
And also tune into the least anticipated podcast to see the least anticipated 9/11s of the week.
Yeah, it's all
Which is
this
important.
week's least anticipated was all 9/11 videos and me and Chet critiquing.
Well, actually, last week we did cover 9/11 quite a bit.
We did,
In
yeah,
anticipation of 9/11, we cover a week in advance.
because the TVs, the
Who
TV
doesn't want to see
networks.
Charlie Sheen and Whoopi Goldberg in a 9/11 movie?
They're in a 9/11 movie.
I would like to
Actually.
see Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen in a 9/11. Ew.
Ew.
I, honest to God, hand over my heart, did not think he was still alive until you just mentioned it.
You thought Charlie Sheen died?
Should
Yeah.
be dead.
Because of the AIDS. He must have the baby AIDS.
He's got the baby.
I just assumed he's been dead.
Well, I mean, yeah, why not?
Okay, but he's not. I mean,
Cool.
he's
I'm
in
just saying,
theater.
I honestly
Maybe she's
thought
a
he died.
Charlie Sheen truther. He actually is.
He's in theaters
I
this
believe
week.
you that he's alive. I just thought he died.
Sure. I feel like you're still not convinced.
Charlie Sheen's alive.
Right. So why do people lie about 9/11? Does any
Because it's cool.
Why do people lie about
Probably
anything?
the same reason so many people in Los Angeles history pretend to be the last person to have seen the Black Dahlia alive, or why people claim to have known someone from Columbine. They want to be attached to an event that's bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
That's like how I like to tell people how I went to a Limp Bizkit concert,
And that
like 96.
and it didn't happen?
Probably oversharing my address here, but I live so close to the Black Dahlia that when I sit in my backyard and go into Facebook, it asks me if I want to check into the Black Dahlia.
Nice.
Yeah. No, that's not that's not giving up your address at all. No one would be able to find that.
If you come, Black Dahlia happens.
Black Dahlia just cut through that house over the fence.
Fast ballot dahlias.
Black Dahlia at Chet's.
Fast doll.
Why's it got to be black, Adam?
Got nothing. What?
Because I
Because of your neighborhood.
oh, there's that.
But yeah, there's many reasons for lying. One of the bigger reasons whenever people are like, I almost got on that plane that day, or I missed that plane that day, or they want to be like a tangent but not a full lie, is because they like being close enough to that event and trying to get like a little bit of familiarity with
just
someone.
look
over
when
it.
someone
make it
dies.
about them.
Look when anybody dies and people are like, you know, look, I met Robin Williams during a set list at Nerdville.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right. Okay,
We
fine.
we do know, isn't it
Come on.
Keith Carey though that was actually going to be on one of the planes?
Yeah.
Yeah, every time he's told me that, he was like, I was supposed to be on one of the 9/11 planes. Every time I'm like, yeah, I think you should have been on one of the 9/11
Yeah, you were.
planes.
You should have been there. yeah.
Ah.
Well, Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one.
Yeah,
And
there's
Michael
a few different
Jackson,
people.
I think.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I heard that one.
Doesn't he have a
Michael Jackson's not flying commercial?
It's one of the things I heard.
It's on Air Force One.
That doesn't sound right.
What was I going to say? I always loved, my favorite was when Mark Wahlberg was like, if I was on that plane, I would have gone differently. Really, fuckface?
Yeah, fuck him.
Fucking jerk off.
It
If
would
he
have
was
been.
on that plane, you would have just like blinded the wrong person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
would have
anything
increased the
went down.
9/11 score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Huh? I didn't hear what you said. Oh, it would have. Okay, I got you.
But yeah.
The joke hit.
Jesus.
That punchline was the second plane coming in. You're like, ah.
Yeah, there were. I read an article. Thanks to Ashley Bess for doing the research for this.
Shout out Ashley Beth.
Shout out to Ashley Bess. One of the articles she put in here was from a psychiatrist who worked with patients after 9/11, and she said that there were a lot of people who faked either being there or having family members there, and in the less awful cases, it was just people who needed sympathy or to connect with someone in some way, and they just saw that this was...
It's like a Munchausen by proxy of 9/11.
Just kind of a way to reach out and get sympathy you don't necessarily deserve, but no one's going to question you too hard and deny it.
Yeah, you're not really going to get pressed. People are like, prove it.
Right. And the other problem, though, is that also opened up the way for a lot of fraud, because the other group of people that were lying about 9/11 were people who were trying to get either controlled substances or apply for death benefits.
Get that paper.
Get that cheddar.
And get some strange.
What the fuck? Everything went off at
I'm
once.
not the only dingus.
I hit it so hard, everything went off at once. There we go. Fucking pounded it. Beat that soundboard with a bat. Anyway, so yeah, there were two different people, and in psychiatry, they call this pathological lying, and they separate it into two different camps, which is conscious and unconscious motivation. And in both, the patients are aware that they're lying, but the distinction is what is their motivation. Conscious lying is also known as con man behavior, and it's sometimes related to antisocial personality disorder.
And being awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty awesome.
I have a dope girlfriend. She lives in Canada. You've never met her. My parents are in the CIA. That kind of shit.
And they all
Right.
died in 9/11.
And one example of that, which we'll talk about soon, is Steve Rannazzisi. Shout out to the Mean Boys podcast.
Yeah, that's
He is-
great.
He is on the 9/11 episode of the Mean Boys podcast.
Bless
Well
them.
done.
Yeah.
They maneuvered that really well.
I feel like they didn't, maneuver.
But they didn't tell him.
I feel like,
didn't.
I wonder if they asked him about it. Because if not, okay, why not?
I feel like he's probably covered it enough.
Yeah, but they're the mean boys.
the
Oh, hey,
Hey, yo, what are you,
Hey,
some
what is
kind
some
of
kind of 9/11 victim
liar?
or something? Oh.
But Steve Rannazzisi falls into the conscious lying category because he used his lie to get attention.
Yeah, to improve his narrative.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. It adds a level of romance and intrigue to your I switched career. Like, when I say I switched careers, I'm like, well, I got bored and I left.
Well, and because
then-
people can relate to that breaking point.
Yeah, it's a lot different though. Like if there was a crazy tragedy in my life
Mm-hmm.
that caused me to move to LA and get into stand up, but it's like, I hated it.
I think also in the case of Steve is that it wasn't a one-time lie for a specific, like somebody that he was talking to or a specific event. It was something that was over and over again, and it was part of his narrative and his persona and his story, and it was something that he would bring up in interviews. It wasn't a
But only when
one-time thing.
asked.
It was conscious.
It was only when he was asked though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but
he
how
wasn't
do you
going
get asked about it without first bringing it up?
Well, because I remember
I
it
asked
was like
everyone
were
if they were in the towers on 9/11.
I say, where were you when they built the ladder to heaven?
I say, which tower were you in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember which tower you were in when 9/11 happened?
You should never
one
forget
that
which
didn't-
tower you're in.
I don't know why you would. Yeah, so there's two different types of people who lie about 9/11. Steve Rannazzisi is one of them. We'll talk about another woman in a little bit also who falls into the other category, which is unconsciously motivated liars.
Crazy bitch.
Right? These are people that people who pretend they're suffering from fake disorders for sympathy, like people with Munchausen syndrome or Munchausen by proxy. It's kind of that same thing. And there's a really famous case about a woman who lied about being in the Twin Towers.
Yeah, the woman that wasn't
on
there.
9/11. Tanya Head is what she called herself.
That documentary is insane.
It is so fucking good.
It is. It's phenomenally done, but it has. So it's. I think maybe the creepiest part about it is that she wasn't doing it for money, and then it became so deeply elaborate
Right.
for so long.
Right, and that's one of the things we'll talk about. Like, that's one of the conflicts people have with her is she lied, but she didn't do it for financial gain.
She's
she
like
didn't steal any money from anyone.
tragedy.
Yeah, she was just like, she did a lot of good. She just also happened to lie about having been present. But one of the other things that happened a lot after 9/11 were fake death claims. And one of the most famous cases, this was the first couple that was charged with 9/11 related fraud. Their names were Charles and Cindy Gavitt.
And that was a brutal sentence.
It's a brutal sentence, but
Got to make an example.
I mean, I get it, but like that precedent is a little bit like it seems almost like cruel and unusual, that amount for what that was.
But it was an unprecedented tragedy, so there won't ever be like don't fucking steal from 9/11 victims.
I
That's
agree,
disgusting.
but it's like you can't create new levels of fraud punishment. Just
but they had to
because 9/11.
see that coming.
Yeah,
I would imagine. Especially
10 years though. That's like kind of nuts.
Were they? Oh yeah, they were
for
sentenced
10 years.
but they served 4.5.
Well, yeah, but that's every sentence is like
Yeah.
that for the most part.
Yeah, they don't deny that they were guilty, but they do feel that their sentence was a little extreme.
Agreed.
At the time, they had 2 children and were living in an upper middle class neighborhood in Concord, Georgia. Gavitt claimed his wife had an appointment at the World Trade Center on 9/11 and never came home. He then filed an insurance claim for $200,000 with Minnesota Life Insurance and followed up with a phone call on October 2nd. He gave the insurance company his wife's appointment book and an affidavit, this is classy, from his 14-year-old daughter as evidence, proving that their mother died on 9/11.
Well, 14-year-old girls never lie.
Come on, Jeff. Jesus Christ.
Is it possible that he didn't tell his daughter and the daughter really thought the mom was dead?
No, everyone
Everyone
knew
was in.
that the mom was alive. What happened is an insurance investigator noticed that no obituary was ever published for this woman. So he called the local sheriff's office, and the sheriff had actually had Thanksgiving dinner with this couple very recently. Since that
And the
phone
teenage
call.
daughter's probably new car.
Yeah. So
Yeah, what do you promise your kid?
Help us
in order to
convince
lie.
people mommy is dead, and we'll get you a nice Vespa.
If that, she better do what she's told. She's a Southern daughter.
that's a
Come on.
good point. Yeah.
Come on, she just does what she's told.
I mean, it probably was kind of that.
Yeah.
I do declare, my mother perished in the second
Well, I will
tower.
give you a wonderful debutante's ball if you come on out and say your mother died in the old 9/11.
I wonder if any married couples did that, or like faked one of the person's death, like the husband faked the wife's death and did the insurance claim, but then just killed his wife. That seems plausible.
Shit, that would have been dope as fuck.
Because then
Yeah.
no one's
Y'all
gonna look
missed
for your
out.
wife.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan at all. Because that you just file that claim.
Yeah, my wife died in 9/11, and then also she was found in Georgia with her throat slit.
I don't get
She
it.
was
That
thrown
first
really far
tower
from
like
the building.
stabbed her 8 times.
Just do it with a box cutter. You know?
Just take the body to the World Trade Center and toss it on the rubble.
That one seems pretty fresh. Yeah.
No, I've seen that. I was here the whole time.
Steve Buscemi found it.
Yeah, remember Steve Buscemi? He's probably got cancer now.
He was. You know who else was Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, because he was one of the first the guys that went to help out, and all the people found out who he was. He was just serving food to first
Yeah,
responders.
they had him say,
And they just
they
kept
had him
making him
do
talk.
Batman over the
Yeah,
loudspeakers.
they kept making him talk like Batman. He's like, "Hey, this is 9/11. Like, you sure? You sure?
I mean,
you sure
I
you
feel
wanna
like after
make it?"
9/11, you deserve Batman.
this.
Different Batman.
I'm sorry I didn't stop this.
It's not Christian
No.
Bale.
I'm sorry I didn't stop this.
sorry. I didn't stop it. What?
9/11 is my fault.
That's why I can't enjoy. I have to have subtitles to watch Batman. I fully did not enjoy
Oh,
it.
because the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
that
like
voice is awesome.
Batman for you was like an Oasis documentary for me.
The Batman voice is my 9/11.
Why do you got to do that, Chet? Why does Oasis have to come up?
Seemed like a
I don't understand.
reasonable
It's just a
connection to make.
cavalcade of stupid voices.
I like Vanessa.
I don't, interestingly enough. So
You do.
Nah.
You're friends.
Let's talk about Stephen D. Laskowski. This is another type of person that filed death claims on 9/11, and this is he is one of those people who filed a claim for someone who wasn't even dead.
What a piece of shit.
He submitted a claim to the Victims' Compensation Fund stating his wife was killed in the 9/11 attacks and that she left him behind with a son and triplets.
That's a weird one to open with, was triplets.
Huey, Dewey,
Yeah.
and Louie. They were never the
It's like
same.
the odds are not good. Like that proof. And that's how they he got sentenced to like.
What if he just kept dressing up the same kid in 3 different outfits when they came to investigate? Like a Mrs. Doubtfire situation.
Well, you know what's funny too is like part of his thing is like you have to get put on antipsychotics. So that's like
well, yeah,
kind
this
of a
guy
big deal. Like this guy's just fucking nuts.
This guy was actually found not guilty by reason of insanity because his wife had divorced him years earlier and she was living happily in Florida, or as happily as one can live in
Yeah,
Florida.
you don't live happily in Florida.
And they had 0 children. No kids. This guy was just
Fucking loon.
he was just nuts, and he filed for 9/11 benefits.
That is crazy. Like when you think about what's going like that, the sort of what would that be? Not dissociative identity, but what would that?
Delusions.
Yeah, delusional. It would be like a
Yeah.
Delusions,
schizophrenia.
a lot of
It would be a
grandeur
level
issues.
of schizophrenia then, right?
Yeah, I would think
Delusions
so.
tend to go heavily.
It can
through
either come with schizophrenia
Yeah,
or it can come with bipolar type 1 when you're having aggressive delusions
Yeah.
of grandeur.
A psychiatric exam revealed that he was psychotic and delusional. If you can believe that.
I believe it.
I don't believe anything that guy says.
I choose to believe what I want to believe.
I don't believe anything about 9/11.
I want to believe.
Holograms.
I don't even believe it happened on September 11th.
Yeah, it was September 10th, if I recall
Thank you.
correctly.
Yeah.
Right?
9/11 just sounds better because 9/11.
Did we do the thing where we do the where were you?
No,
No,
Jeff
we didn't.
tried.
I
and
tried,
then-
and then
All right.
Oh,
Where were
oh.
you, Jeff?
Oh,
I was in one of my education classes in college, and they were like, we were just told that the World Trade Center is being attacked, and you need to go home.
Oh, you
Contact
got
your
sent
families. Yeah. It was a teaching school. They were really big on like, we're pretty liberal. Get out of here. Go watch it on TV. I got home. Well, I went to my friend's apartment, and as we turned on the TV, it's when the second tower fell.
yeah.
I really made it. Just
in time.
Nick
Yeah,
of time.
I was at work, and I went on break just as the first tower fell.
to check
And-
and see.
Yeah,
your-
where was Adam when the first tower fell?
I went in the break room, looked up at the TV, and the fucking tower was collapsing. I was like, "Oh, this is bad."
Nice.
And then we all got to go home.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you not get to go home?
No, and it happened second period in the morning.
What
And
grade were you in?
what?
What grade are you in?
I was a senior.
Oh, you were in high school. Yeah, they're not going to
Yeah.
let kids go home in a situation like that. They want to keep them in a central
Yeah.
location.
So, but what was shitty, like the history teacher's like, we're gonna watch TV footage. But I remember I had like the math teacher at the end of the day. He's like, no, we're just gonna do our lesson, and everyone's like, no, we need to watch the thing.
That was important. A lot of people in education thought at the time that it was important to continue living life and moving forward through things.
It wasn't
at that
handled
point in
well at
time.
my school.
No, but it was.
No.
No.
I'm
was
talking the day of.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
And like I understand, I fully understand that because especially when it comes to kids when they see adults panicking, it's another level of fear that they don't really know yet. They didn't handle it that way at my school because I was in the 4th grade. I had just woken up and both of my parents were in the room, and they were.
Oh, yeah, that was like 6:50 in the morning for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I had to wake up
Oh,
really
yeah.
early to go to school because I live far away. And my parents were sitting in my bed. They were watching the TV because I had like the better TV at the time. And so my entire family packed in there. So I was like just waking up to my family sitting around the TV watching this shit happen. And I'm getting ready for school, and they're having a conversation as to whether or not I should still go. I end up getting to school. We start talking about what's happening. Our teacher's trying to like kind of explain it to us. And then she bursts into tears. And then one girl just runs in crying. And she's like, my cousin works there.
Liar.
Actually,
Liar.
like for sure, her cousin died in the towers.
Lies.
Lies.
And so then all of
What'd
the
she
kids,
do with that money?
all of the kids burst into tears and just start screaming, and the teachers don't know what to do, so they call it a half day and had our parents pick us back up like immediately.
That does not sound like the best way to handle it.
Nope.
No, that doesn't sound like a
Because
a
I
way that
fully
anyone
wandered out of
should
the
have
classroom.
actually handled it. We were because we were, that was like when I was doing my practicum work too. So like we were interacting with the high school teachers at the time, and they were like, you need to set a level of normalcy in this too, because a lot of stuff is sort of, some kids shouldn't be forced to watch certain, like you want to like be like, we need to experience this history, but for some people it's too much. And school is, relatively speaking, considered a safe zone for a lot of people. And so it was important during 9/11 to not just, like, a lot of people were trying to pull their kids out of schools, and schools were like, fucking, this is where your kid should be right now.
My
Like,
dad actually pulled me out the week after. Like, he tried.
wow, that's fucking late.
Well, no, because he.
Was it traffic?
I feel like people might have heard this before, but my dad's like almost a doomsday prepper. And he pulled us out for like a week afterwards because he was seriously considering moving us back to Central America. Because he went from like
No
0 to
danger
60
there.
pretty
No.
fast. And then my mom was like, absolutely not. Vanessa will surely die or be sold off as a prostitute. We're going home.
Voice like that's going to be ransomed.
Yeah. Yeah. Ransomed.
This is an auction off virginity voice.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how casual we were about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
the
I
cool-
would do
that's
if I
what
was
it
down
would
there.
So
I would
yeah.
auction off the virginity, probably.
I'm Guatem all in.
Why?
That's fair. How you treating that mic over there, Gritton?
I got a little
Vanessa gets electrocuted spitting on the microphone.
It's like her 9/11.
Nah.
But it was. But here's the thing. Like, I went to school in rural Maine, and my roommate was the biggest fucking hick. And the first thing he did was fucking run to Walmart and buy a 22.
Oh, good.
And I was like, fuck you. This is not going into our apartment. I was like, it's not. I was like, get this the fuck out of here. And he was just like, what? I'm like, you're gonna shoot yourself. Like, there's no. And he's like, I'll put a lock on it. I'm like, put a lock on it and put it in your fucking car. I was like, it's not happening. And I was like, what happens if a fucking plane gets diverted to crash on the thriving metropolis of Farmington, Maine? And you pull out your 22 heroically, shoot the nose cone of the plane, and it has to divert? Like, there's no reason to have a fucking... I was like, that's first and foremost, that's only a gun you accidentally... Nobody's ever done anything with a 22 but accidentally shoot themselves. And he fucking went and bought a gun. Like, that was like the hysteria at the time. I'm like, let's just get a flag.
Yeah.
Get a flag. That's fine. The flag hysteria is all well and good.
Yeah, I remember there was a 9/11. There was like not long after 9/11, there was some DMX documentary on MTV, and he was somewhere in New York when 9/11 happened. And there was this clip of him driving through some shithole borough in New York where it's like it was all white people, and it's just DMX waving a fucking American flag
That's
out the
fucking
window.
DMX right there.
It was great. Like
Wave my flag.
that would have immediately cheered me up after 9/11.
Damn right.
Seeing DMX. So one of the other things, let's talk about some fake death claims.
Salute and do ya.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to go somewhere with it, and then I bailed halfway through.
Oh my God.
Pulling that parachute. Remember, okay, by the way, and I know we're going to go to this other thing, but can we talk? I want to talk about something post 9/11. The fucking people that were selling office parachutes. Do you remember those fucking things?
Oh, that's
No.
insensitive
There
as
was a
fuck.
huge thing after 9/11 that were like, in these trying times, they were selling like survival kits, and they were fucking parachutes for businessmen
That's
that worked
fucked up.
in skyscrapers.
Only for
You
men though, right?
Well, yeah, it's not business woman. Look at the skirts; it's all
Float.
improper.
Oh yeah, you float down.
Yeah,
right.
come down like
Take their
Princess
umbrella
Peach
and-
in Mario 2, you know. But like, I remember that as being a very specific thing where they were talking about like the ridiculousness of post 9/11 America and like the things that people were investing in.
The rollout window ladders.
Yeah, like all this shit that people were just like.
My
Fucking,
dad bought a rollout window ladder, and we never use it for an emergency. I would just use it to go sneak out and make out with people.
Nice.
That's what you do. Yeah,
That is an emergency though.
that's a post 9/11 world, right?
Yeah.
there.
You never know when you're going to have
Muslims.
emergency. Oh, right.
Hanging out's way better when you climb down a ladder first.
That's true. Both of those things are true. What Chet said and that Vanessa's a Muslim.
What? No. What?
Well,
It's like you are.
right, but
I
it's
don't
not
think so.
like
Okay.
I don't know why there's so
She's a
many.
Guada Muslim.
First of all, I am a watermelon.
watermelon.
And second of all, I feel like I have to clarify whenever people are joking, like, Vanessa's a Muslim, or Vanessa's blah, because I'm straight up getting emails from people where it's like, would you like to join our ladies networking group for X thing? And I'm like, no, it's happening. Once a day, I have to have a conversation.
You're getting misracialed. Is that what it is?
Misprofiled.
There it is.
Yeah. Stop it, everybody.
That's bullshit.
Chet, you seem tired.
2017.
Very tired.
I think we're all fucking tired.
Good.
There's also 4 of us, and I listened to Jeff's lecture up front. And I don't want to step on anyone's words. So
It wasn't a lecture. I was just
What happened?
when I said 4 is a lot harder to keep control of than
when he
3.
said, "Chet, don't talk." Let the
No,
three
it's
have it.
harder to keep control of when your guests smoke 3 huge joints with you back to back to back.
I am tired, but it's not for lack of interest in this podcast. It's just I sleep deprived.
I'm tired, but I'm pretty sure that's because I started my period 15 minutes ago.
We haven't even we've been recording for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That's why I got quiet for a second, because I was like trying to
Insert a
listen to my
tower
body.
in there.
That's why 15 minutes ago I just got very quiet, and I was like, is it happening? Did
I
it
guess
just?
it is.
I'm pretty sure.
It's like her underwear is having its own 9/11 moment.
Am I right?
It's heavy denim. I'll be fine.
Your underwear? Weird.
No, my overalls.
Weird.
What are you,
I
a
don't know
poster
why
from
they
the
would think
80s
that.
of a
Clearly,
sexy
we're
lady?
talking about your overalls. 2 idiots over here.
Oh, Chet.
You know what else was overall was the sweeping problems of 9/11 America.
Let's talk about some more death claims. One of the articles that we looked at for this podcast was from 2002. It was 12/31/2002, NewYorkTimes.com, separating fakes from 9/11 victims. And it's a really interesting article with the head of the NYPD Special Fraud Squad. Fraud Squad. Fraud Squad.
Woo.
Fraud Squad.
Post 9/11 fraud squad.
At the time this article was published, they had arrested 37 people in New York City alone for 9/11 related fraud.
Seems like a slow day in New York City.
Oh, am I right?
That eagle's crying. The 9/11.
Crying for 9/11. And yeah, the NYPD fraud squad handled most of the cases. There were dozens of fake claims submitted after 9/11, ranging from people faking their spouse or loved one's death to receive payments, or just straight up making up people that didn't exist, which that was actually the most common one.
Yep.
Jeez, that would be so. If I was on that fraud squad, I'd be like, all right, well, we're gonna put you in this room, turn off these cameras, and I'm gonna beat you with a short length of hose, because I lost a lot of friends.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. If you read this interview, he was like, you have to start sympathetic, because you can always go from sympathetic to accusatory. But if you start out accusatory and you're wrong and this claim's legitimate, you can't go sympathetic from there. From there, they're just going to be like, fuck you, you're an asshole.
Yep.
You told me I was lying. And he's
Which we do to cops now regularly.
right, yeah, pretty much. But he said that was one of the issues they faced, is they were never, like, even when they were pretty sure right from the onset that this was fake, they had to treat every single person, at least initially, as if their claims were real. They even gave people money in some cases. There were some cases where he was like, it was just easier to just give them the money. And
Oh,
yeah, there were a lot of people who there were millions of dollars in fraudulent claims that were filed. This is a quote from the head of that fraud department. We've had fictitious victims. We've had victims who've been dead for years. We've had people in prison calling to say that they were dead.
wait, what?
Oh, I died in 9/11.
This is a
4
collect
minutes
call
left.
from hell.
My soul is in prison? This is weird. Help. In yeah, we've had people in prison calling to say that they were dead, and just because we have the case doesn't mean that it's fraud. We even had 1 or 2 homeless people to track down. And yeah, he said it. They had to keep their feelings in check, be sympathetic, and console people, even if they thought they were dealing with cases of fraud. But he also added, it's very hard to talk to them when you know it's a crock, because we were there carrying bodies.
Yeah, that's the other part. Like, you're going through this process of being these first responders. Like, you're seeing your friends, you're seeing all these dead people, and then to see somebody come in and try to grift that, like, Jesus Christ.
Fuck them.
Like, yeah, I'd want to have one of those old timey blackjacks that cops had in the 20s and just fucking bring them.
Now, what about faking your own death without trying to get any insurance claims? Like, what if you just want to go start a new life? Is that bad?
I think that's still illegal, right?
It's illegal because it's fraud.
But do you hold
general.
harsh judgments against it? Like, if a bomb dropped in LA right now, and you're like, oh, I could fake my own death and get the fuck out of here and go start a new life.
So hard to do that now.
Because 30
of,
years ago, before computers and stuff.
It's actually the Patriot Act that did it more than anything. Like social media and the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
Well, facial recognition software and all that.
Yeah,
stuff,
right?
Yeah. It's
But,
all...
like, just trying to get anywhere. Like,
China just recently, they had a beer festival somewhere in China, and they put facial recognition software at the entrance and arrested like 60 fucking people who just happened to have like warrants or whatever. So now it's just like out in...
was that software just getting the wrong guy? Because they kind of all
Software
Jeff!
wasn't racist, Jeff.
Jeff!
have a
On 9/11, no less.
kind of have a
Oh, you mean the... oh, okay.
All beer drinkers look the same to Jeff.
That's true. There it is. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. They look weak.
So let's go through, we'll just run through quick some of the examples from this article that some of these detectives had to deal with. Namora Young. Detectives say Ms. Young melded the descriptions of 2 ex-boyfriends to create a fictitious spouse and collected more than $53,000.
Our powers
take
combined.
Yeah.
Their
like-
best traits or worst?
I don't know.
He had 4 arms and 4 legs. That's such a weird way to even describe it. They could have just been like, she made up a fictitious spouse, but they're very specifically like researched 2 exes to figure that out. That's bananas.
In Springfield, Illinois, people raised more than $6,400 for a coworker who said his brother died in the collapse, leaving a wife and 7 children. No such brother or children existed.
That's fastball Chet's pledge money right there.
That is.
It is, yeah.
You could have had fastball in your living room.
Yeah,
Maybe even back then for that money.
possible.
Probably
For a good
less
cause.
money.
Oh, you gotta take it that route.
I feel like 2001 would have been a higher price point at that point in time.
Yeah, maybe. When did The Way come out?
99, 98, 99.
It would have been a pretty,
Yeah.
Like that would have been. I think that would have been peak fastball.
Peak fastball. In West...
9/11 was their highlight.
Yeah.
I'd say before fastball Chet.
Before fastball Chets. Probably the best thing to happen to them after.
9/11 was?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, no, fastball at Chet's number 1, number 2, 9/11.
Why is 9/11 a good thing for them?
Ask them, I guess.
Do you have a 5-hour energy you can give Chet?
I had to take one on the way here.
Usually it's like, Chet, why are you yelling?
Yeah, you are literally about to fall asleep. It's really interesting.
I had that thought. I was like, they'll give me so much shit if I fall asleep.
Oh,
during the
I would
there
podcast.
have been a
respect you
couple
for it.
times where you've been very
I'm
close to
listening, but there's,
it. Yeah, this is great.
Just do the old Quincy and then curl up like a dog on the floor and sleep until 2 a.m.
Let's go through a couple more of these. In Westchester, Ohio, a man was convicted of falsely filing a claim on a $100,000 insurance policy in the name of his father, who was in India when the towers fell. What was that?
period.
Is your tongue walking through mud?
Body noises.
I was trying to clear my throat and it made it very.
Let me clear my throat.
It was like a.
God damn.
Have us, baby.
I hope you don't mind. While
There's
my
like-
voice is gross burn.
There was like a spit bubble trapped under my tongue, so when I like let my tongue down, it made like a gross popping noise.
Yeah, hold on. I got to clear my throat. Got it. Good.
Oh my God.
Chet, now you do one.
No.
Chet's not even here anymore.
Oh my God.
Let's check the live stream and
I've
see if we
checked
can
out of
even.
the camera. You can't.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, get in the camera, Chet.
Yeah,
No,
don't.
I'm not
Check out the
Lean
live
in.
stream. What are people
Lean
saying?
in, Chet.
Lean in. Clear your throat.
I don't know. They're
Or
all.
Vanessa. That's what people said.
What?
This is poor Vanessa. That's right.
It's probably about my parents.
Who else? In San Diego, a man was indicted for collecting more than $136,000 after claiming that his wife, the mother of 10 children, had died.
Why are they all faking so many kids?
Is
Yeah,
this
that-
the idiot that gambled it all away?
Yes.
Fake a kid. One kid.
She's alive. They have one child, and yes, he gambled away all the money at
He
casinos.
gambled away his 9 other kids.
Can you gamble? Can you place bets on terrorist attacks in Vegas? Is that a thing?
Probably on the dark web.
Yeah, I don't know that.
No, probably not. I mean, well, there's some places that they'll take bets on anything, right?
Like how many school shootings happened this year, plus or minus 300?
It's
Yeah,
an easy way to
Or like
an easy way to pad those stats.
when
Yeah.
celebrities will die and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, there's places that'll give you odds on anything, probably.
Betty White, 4 months.
You think?
Giving Betty White 4 months?
Giving Betty White 4 months. I'm giving Stanley 9.
I'm giving Betty White.
I'd switch those two.
I'm giving Betty White 4 because
I'll
we've
bet you
got,
right now that Stan Lee will die before Betty White.
I bet you
I'm giving Betty White
right
13
now,
months.
Betty White dies before Stanley.
I'll put $10 on that right now.
Right now.
I'm giving Betty White 2 days.
Chet's gonna kill Betty White.
It's going to overshadow fastball at Chet's.
Betty
Yeah.
White's murder at Chet's.
Betty White's death at Chet's.
I should invite Betty White.
Who else? Rosaba Wild, 60 of Manhattan, said her father had been at a meeting at Cantor Fitzgerald on the day of
sister.
the disaster. Police found a copy of his decade-old death certificate from Columbia.
How old was her motherfucking father? She was 60. Who's getting a meeting when they're 85?
But what's
minimum?
crazy about that is she still collected $750,000 from this 9/11 victims fund.
75,000, not 750.
This one is especially awful. Authorities in Missouri charged Cassandra Montgomery with creating a younger brother. She collected more than $63,000 in aid. The name of her make-believe brother, Jeffrey Montgomery, was taken from that of a real-life firefighter in the roll call of the dead that rang through Lower Manhattan during September's first-year commemoration of the disaster.
Smart call. That's a good move.
It is
do that.
smart, and
Names
from a
on the plaque
fraud.
and all that?
Initial checks. Those initial checks will be like, yep.
Yeah.
Chet, what name would you pick if you were going to fraudulently claim that somebody died in 9/11?
Chet Mild.
But that's just a different version of
Chest Wild.
your fake name.
What child?
Caitlin accidentally typed fastball at chest while we were talking on Facebook today, and then we just started going back
That's
and
why I
forth.
don't play softball anymore.
Did like fat ball at chests and all that
Right
shit.
to the sternum.
Barf barf.
My balls on chest.
Oh shit! People can see we're not really high fiving. We're live streaming.
Wait, you high-fived? I high-fived?
That's
I
true.
wanted to high five and no one gave me a high five.
The high five that we just tried to do with that bet thing was such a 9/11 itself. that
Okay, I didn't know you were going for a handshake. I thought it was a regular high five. Oh,
It
ham
was
hands.
a bet. We were making a bet.
I didn't know there was a specific hand for bets. Do you want to do the spin your hands and the?
Oh yuck!
Ah.
What is
It's
with
official.
you and spitting on me?
Jeff is a gross human
That's
being.
very But
This is the third time Jeff spat on me.
it's 9/11. All bets are off. It's like America's version of the
Actually, we
Purge.
made a bet.
Oh, that's right. Well, that bet's on.
That bet's on.
But all bets otherwise are off.
All faces.
There's got to be people that got away with the fraud, though,
Oh.
that like were actually in the towers, and then we're like, fuck this.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of people that got away with it. Like, there's no way you're going to catch everybody. And some people's claims would have just been so. But I don't know. Like, how would you. Like, I feel like the obituary thing's important. Like, you're going to have to almost bury someone else and say it was that person.
The perfect crime.
Yeah, which that's not. Like, that's probably what I would do.
Just cremate like 6 pigs and put them in a jar, and then bury that urn and be like, Grandpa.
Why would you kill all those cops?
Whoa.
Oh, Jeff said it nasty.
Burn. What was that one?
That was Howard Dean.
Oh, there was. Oh, I've never heard the cheering at the
The
end.
crowd at the end.
And then he goes, ah. Yeah, you can hear it like trail off where he goes, he's like, this is it. This is the one that did it.
I'm going to die now. Let's talk about Steve Ranazzisi.
You know, I've been waiting for somebody to say his name so I can stop pretending I knew how to pronounce it.
I mean, that's got to be how you pronounce it, right?
Ranazzisi.
Ranazzisi.
Margarita.
That's a spicy liar.
You guys are racist.
So what? He's white.
Against cartoon pizza box chefs.
One of the best jokes I ever heard. I forget who it was, but he was just like, I'm white, but I was like, I'm Italian. We've only been white for like 45 years.
That's true. Comedian Steve Ranazzisi. If people aren't familiar with this guy, he's on The League, which I think is just now wrapping up its last season.
He's the average guy. He's like the base. Of that. Yeah.
He's a comic. He's funny. Like he's good.
Really good.
Yeah.
He's a good comic. He's got a special called Breaking Dad, which was supposed to come out on Comedy Central last year.
On 9/11.
Right around. It was actually, I believe, right around 9/11. And his special, the news broke right before his special came out that he had for years been lying about being in the World Trade Center on 9/11. He said he was working at Merrill Lynch's office on the 54th floor of the South Tower when the first plane struck the North Tower. This is a quote from 2009. I was there, and then the first tower got hit, and we were like jostled all over the place. He fled to the street just minutes before another plane slammed into the building, he said, and decided that very day that life was too precious to waste opportunities, so he abandoned his New York desk job to pursue a career as an entertainer in L.A. He would later claim, quote, I still have dreams of those falling dreams, he told an interviewer.
See, now here's the thing. Like, would you make that lie up if it guaranteed you that level of a career?
No.
No? All those residuals from
Steve Ranazzisi?
He's
been on one TV show.
It's gone, 8 seasons?
I would tell that
A lot
lie
of
for
money
like
can come
Kevin
back from
Corrigan's career. Or anybody who's been in more than one show.
I would tell that lie to be stabbed. No, fuck.
I wouldn't tell that lie to be the most
Gave
mild
up on that
person in the
sentence.
league.
I'd tell that lie to get fastball to play a concert in my.
Why you got to
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get a career that way. Like that would feel cheap to me.
Well, I guess he already had it, but I don't know. It seems
no, he
like-
didn't really have. Well,
Yeah, 2009. The league was on then.
yeah, but I mean, he started telling this story almost
Earlier
as soon
than
as he moved to LA. Like I'm assuming everyone. He probably got out here and was like, "Hey guys, I was at 9/11."
I saw him workshop
Book
that
me.
story at multiple mics.
I remember.
No, I didn't.
He well, the weird part about that is his first album is all about the stories. It's like he's a storytelling comic.
Yeah, the
now.
thing about his girlfriend and the sandwich and
And the whole thing
it's-
about the paying the homeless guy to dump the water. And
It's all so
and
great.
it's all now, but you hear it and you're just like, oh, that's also definitely a lie. Which comics
But
oftentimes
you can
do
lie
make
and
up stories.
exaggerate truth in terms of comedy. That's fine. In terms of where you were on
Yeah, but
9/11,
when also
not
it
okay.
comes to telling the stories of your origin stories, I feel like those have to be more sacredly true. It's you.
Yeah, yeah. It's just I would like how would he expect he was never gonna get
Called out.
called on that? Like the bigger he got, someone was gonna be able to
Because he's
verify
clearly
this
done
shit.
shit like that before and he's never faced a consequence for it.
Yeah,
Because
that's
when you get
true.
to that level, it's because you've been doing it for a long time and you've been pushing it a little bit more and a little bit more and nobody's ever called you on it. And you start getting those feelings of
Trump.
grandiose and delusion where you're just like, I can fucking lie about anything now. So clearly, this isn't the only one. He's been doing this for a while. He's been trained in it. He hasn't faced a consequence
gotta
for
chase
it.
the lie high.
Now,
Yeah.
here's my question: is what do you think happened when he realized that he had gone out of his league? Oh! Yeah,
That was a really great joke, Jeff.
joke, and it's going on my album.
Yeah. Here's my question: do you think his wife is like kind of in on this lie?
She's complicit.
She had to have known, right?
Because she, like, the story is that he and his wife came home that night and talked about it. And I wonder if he just, like, lied to her, and then just for all these years was like, fuck, I can't admit to this now because my wife
What's
thinks
this
it.
blonde
He's
hair
having
on
an
your
affair.
shoulder? I carried a blonde woman out of the towers.
Exactly.
She got her lipstick all over my neck.
And then she sucked my dick.
Twice.
She sucked my tower. Okay.
It's all good, baby.
Yeah, that I do wonder about that because her story is kind of similar, but just that she was working like downtown
She was on the
somewhere.
plane.
Yeah, she was flying the plane. That
Down, down, lies will be told when you're down, down.
he
You guys are the two youngest, and you broke out the oldest song you could have possibly.
Yeah.
You guys are the babies.
nothing surprising about that.
We're old as shit.
He
I know.
This is a quote from Steve Ranazisi. For many years, more than anything, I've wished that with silence I could somehow erase a story told by an immature young man.
Shut the fuck up.
It only made me more ashamed. How could I tell my children, to be honest, when I hadn't come clean about this?
How old was he?
He was 85 when he said that. That's why I did that voice.
No, how old is
Man,
he when
those
he
kids
first
gotta
started
get
telling a
bullied
lie? Because
so
I want
bad.
to know what the fuck he thinks is immature young man age.
Yeah, he was actually working for a bank at the time.
That's
in
not
Manhattan.
immature young man age. That's
Yeah.
grown ass. You should fucking know better man age.
Yeah.
Immature young man age is I'm 15 years old and I maybe like pretended to get mugged on the way home to like explain why I also have a bunch of like new electronics that I bought with money I was supposed to use.
His
like
wife-
that's immature man age.
Yeah,
He married his wife in 2006, by the way.
but the wife he's married to is the girlfriend he was dating. They moved to LA together after 9/11.
He was 24 when 9/11 happened.
Okay, see,
That's not immature man age.
yeah, how old was I when 9/11 happened? 2001. I would have been.
Because he was born in 77.
I was 9.
Oh, so I would have been 25.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I was 19.
I
was about to turn
I was
20.
9.
Vanessa was 9. How old were you, Chet?
18. 17.
Gross.
Young nubile Chet Wild.
Ooh.
Not quite legal.
Welcome to 9/11 After Dark.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for him to turn.
I had
18.
just gotten my braces on.
Right?
That was my 9/11.
So let's talk about the last really famous case about someone who lied about 9/11. Alicia Esteve Head,
AKA Tanya Head.
aka Tanya Head. This one is really crazy. She didn't defraud anyone of any money. She didn't do this for personal gain, but
I'd say there's some personal.
well, not
social-
financial gain.
Yeah.
But personal gain, yes. She claimed that she not only was in the World Trade Center when it was hit, but that she was on one of the floors above the first plane, and like that's like the rare fucking Pokemon
And she
there.
was rescued by a mysterious man that people had been mentioning.
Yeah.
Had seen.
That was Batman.
And she had a fiance that like loved her and was so romantic, and they had this elaborate backstory, and he died in the towers.
All lies. All of it was lies.
Right down to the very elaborate, very hokey engagement story.
She was in Spain when 9/11 happened. The dude she said was her fiance, or at sometimes she went from saying like boyfriend to fiance. I think she even called him her husband at one point. They hadn't even met.
The engagement story that she told about the two of them is the kind of thing a 14-year-old describes, where it's just like he came out on a horse and there was roses
Yeah.
and candles and
then
the
a
song
plane
was
hit a
playing.
building.
It's like while you were sleeping. It's just like that.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. Yeah, she also said she was led to safely by Willis Crowther, the famous man in the red bandana. I don't know
Yarp.
if you remember him, but
That's the Red Baron. He picked her up in his old-timey plane that
Oh, the guy that
accidentally
makes
smashed.
those toaster pizzas?
Those are good pizzas.
That's a damn good
I
pizza.
fuck with a Red Baron for real.
The Red Baron's a woman now.
Oh, well,
So
Don't tell
Now
Angie
with
about
more
that one.
So the pizza
better cook itself, I guess. Yikes.
oh.
I'm surprised you haven't done a out of my head, out of my mind reference with Tanya Head.
See, we talk about this. I don't talk about fastball all the time. People like to say I do.
You talk about
Why do I need to talk about them when they're going to be in my living room a week from tonight?
You talk about it pretty regularly.
Gosh, she's just
Jet
going
won't
around
shut
telling
up
lies about
it.
9/11. Just a real talking head.
All
Ha
right.
ha ha ha. I wanted that validation so bad.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun tower.
You may find yourself.
She also
lying
said
about
she
your
woke
spouse.
up in a hospital burn unit 6 days after 9/11. And she became the face of the September 11th survivors movement.
Yarp.
She eventually became the head of the World Trade Center Survivors Network.
Did she have burn scars?
No.
At all?
No, nobody
She
ever
said
asked
she
to
woke
see-
up in a burn unit and
She
nobody's
wore
like,
sleeves like all the time.
Yeah. And just said there were none on her face,
I'm
basically.
gonna go pee really quick.
we're like,
He's about to.
I'm not
say-
gonna pee. I'm gonna go clean
check.
myself up. I think there's a 9/11 down there.
Okay, go pee, Vanessa. Go pee.
I was trying to be cute about it.
And Jeff's like,
you already brought up your period. We know.
I was trying to be cute about it initially.
Go.
Okay.
go take care of
Just
that
go.
period before it turns into an exclamation.
What?
Hit the button.
Speaking of people that lie about things,
Oh.
did you just trip on my chair? You okay?
No, I'm walking with tiny feet just in case.
Anyway, so yeah, she became the face of the September 11th survivors movement. She was exposed in 2007. The New York Times was looking for an inspiring profile to accompany its 6th anniversary coverage. Several members of the Survivor Network recommended Head. Woo! They began doing their normal background checking and found she wasn't even in the U.S. during the attacks.
Ooh, now I find out why she made up a fictional boyfriend.
Oh, right.
I just looked her up on Google. Oh,
Oh, yay. Is she gross? I didn't see. I've seen the documentary, yeah.
she's got a face that would make you fly a plane into a building. Oh,
Oh, that's not nice.
she was in the burn unit because she got fucking roasted.
Right? She claimed to have gone to Harvard and Stanford and to have been working at the World Trade Center for Merrill Lynch. None of these institutions had any record of her. Her real name turned out to be Alicia Esteve Head. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I've seen the documentary. I
Let me
forgot.
see. Yikes.
She came from a wealthy Spanish family, and on
She didn't
9/11,
take the stairs when she escaped. Very much.
she was in graduate school in Barcelona.
Was it a culinary school?
Her account made her one of only 19 survivors who had been at or above the point of impact when the planes hit. Imagine being one of those people.
One of the other 18 people being like, we didn't see her.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't see her at the snack bar. Just kidding, we did.
A lot of fat shaming on this episode.
Fuck that lady.
Yeah, I mean, fuck her. Yeah, you're right.
I'm just going to roast her for everything.
People, one of the other stories was that a man gave her his wedding ring on the way out
I love her.
and said, give it to my wife.
and then she tried putting it on her fingers, but it didn't fit.
Right?
Awful. I'm just doubling down at this
Good,
point.
that's good. A man gave me a bag of onion rings on the way down.
This is a quote from Alison Crowther, the mother of Willis Crowther, the man who died rescuing all those people. She never shared those details, and it was nothing we wanted to probe. I felt it was too private and painful for her. That's her explaining why she never really talked about. This woman even at one point said she was going to have part of the clothes she was wearing put on a plaque and mailed to this woman because it was the last thing her son touched.
Yep.
Her son probably died
Her
carrying
son-
her out if that actually happened. Like that
Yeah,
would
but
broke
not
him
from
back.
like the crashing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been just.
Yeah. And it
carrying a large sack of flesh.
died of a heart attack. Yeah, that part is especially fucking awful to me.
what a monster.
Yeah.
Sending her fucking J.C. Penney capris to a woman across the country to be like, your son touched this.
You think it
Bet those
wasn't Lane
Capris
Bryant?
smelled like
Come on.
ham. No way they did.
She can't afford Lane Bryant. It was J.C. Penney.
You know what? Here's the thing, though, because we like to say, like, she wasn't after any financial stuff, but fuck that. Like, fame leads to fortune in a lot of people's cases. Her fucking fake-ass memoirs, TV appearances, shit like that shit pays.
And not just that,
Yeah,
the kind
for
of
sure.
assistance that you get with it. Because people are like, she's an 9/11 survivor, and maybe she needs food, maybe she needs housing, maybe she needs support that you would give to somebody that survives that kind of tragedy. It doesn't come with like a physical payout, but it comes with perks. Jeff has the thing.
What's going on, Jeff?
I just had some mean joke that I had going on. Say she needed support again.
She needed support.
Like a stronger belt.
Oh.
Fuck her. Is she dead yet?
I mean, she's.
Based on her
That's the
recent
thing.
blood work, she's got
No
about
one-
8 months.
No one really knows where she is or what she's doing.
Can't be hard to find. Hello.
Oh man, we have fun here.
Find her chasing down the Oscar Mayer Wiener movie.
Let's.
It's stuck in her mouth.
I just want to say the meanest things about this woman because she is the worst person in the world.
I don't
She's
know about that.
no, but that's so awful because she's
It's not the president.
yeah, but she maneuvered herself into like manipulating. Ah, God, it's so gross.
It's the
manipulating
only
people
maneuver she could fit in.
At their weakest times.
Oh my God. Should we do comments?
fat.
Let's do
Oh, is that what that was all about? Oh,
Yeah, let's do comments.
you know, it's a big world out there.
Just like Tanya.
It's easy to feel like the things you say don't even matter.
They
Our
don't.
lies.
But I want you to know that's not true. We call this segment Your Voice Matters, where we read your stupid fucking bullshit ass wipe comments from the past few shows and respond to them personally.
We did this episode already.
Which one?
These ones. We did these. I remember reading these. Yeah, we did. Because the propaganda, I remember we talked about it out loud.
Oh, that's right. Because we already recorded another episode, so we can't even do.
Go on a
Let's
different
just
show.
pick a random podcast one.
Just go through the fastball Chet's announcement.
Let's go through the comments on the fastball
Oh, why
chat.
did I
Take the
do
take a
that?
walk ones. You just scroll
Massive.
past the take a
Oh
walk
yeah,
ones.
take a walk. Where's that?
Go to the Monday show. Copyright the Monday show.
No, I think it's down.
Yeah.
These are comments from Take a Walk. 22 comments.
From the episode where we talked about Orange County theme parks and all the weird shit we've seen at them.
This was with Connor McSpadden and Keith Carey,
Yep.
correct?
I was with Connor and Keith. We immediately, within the first 10 seconds of the episodes, the words "fat bitch's wild death ride" were uttered.
So it's any podcast with Connor and Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Rob Sire says, this show is too goddamn fun.
We were talking about
Calm
theme
down,
park
Rob.
decks. I bit my tongue.
You sure did.
I sure bit the shit out of that guy.
Alex James says, this was hands down one of the funniest things I've ever listened to on this network. Well done, you guys. Okay.
That's enough. Let's
Me
go to a
and
different
Jeff
show.
weren't on it, so let's...
See the one where people are mentioning possums?
Andrew Wells says, this was so goddamn good. Also, fuck possums. It's pretty much accepted here in New Zealand that if you see a possum, you go out of your way to end that motherfucker.
I was fascinated by the fact that Keith had multiple stories of being bullied by a possum.
Really?
You don't
Yep.
believe that?
Well, I mean, I believe it, but what was Keith doing to it first?
Breastfeeding it.
We all had multiple possum stories.
I like possums. We'd always like they'd show up in our doghouse. We'd have a doghouse and then be like, "There's a possum in the doghouse, just hanging out." He's like,
I once followed my mom following a possum with her camera phone that had all of its babies on her back. So she was just crouched down, slowly tiptoeing after this baby possum hissing
"I'm
at
sure
her.
that ended well."
She got a cute video out of it. It hissed at her. She trotted off.
That's fair.
The Fat Baker says, I recently hired a girl at work who had worked at Disney World for 3 years. After 5 months, she still calls every customer a guest. I don't think she'll ever stop. Disney brainwashes them completely.
So that 9/11 faker is working at Disney now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Baking.
Did Disney close on 9/11?
I hope not.
I don't know. Probably. Like a lot of shit closed.
It's
on
the only
9/11.
time AMC's ever closed ever.
Oh, really?
I used to work at an AMC, and they had a similar company culture to Disney, where it was just like, this is your life, and we never close. And the only time that they ever closed was on 9/11 for half a day.
Should have closed on the Dark Knight premiere.
Oh, all right.
This guy. No, 9/11 was working the Twilight premiere.
No, that's not good.
Genocide says, I'd listen to Mean Boys, but I already have too many podcasts to listen to.
Smart.
That's fair.
That's smart.
Yeah, that's fair.
pretty
That's
smart.
totally
You
fair.
can get the Mean Men on here. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, what are you, some kind of
podcast
subscriber or something?
fan?
Oh.
Oh, you listen to podcasts?
Hey.
Hey.
Got my movie pass in the mail today.
So did
So
I.
I got mine a week ago.
Opening
Yeah!
your mail, everybody.
Chet doesn't open his mail.
No, I was told you don't open your mail. I want to do a series of podcasts where we sit down and go through our mail.
No, I told you I don't open my mail.
You said Jeff doesn't
I
open his
cannot.
mail.
I cannot open my mail.
No, you never open pre-sorted standard. You throw that away right away.
Well, yeah, that.
If it says pre-sorted standard,
I
it's
haven't
junk
opened like
mail.
any mail. Like I had to open one thing because my debit card stopped working. They sent me a new one 2 months ago. No idea.
Did you apply for a movie pass?
Yeah.
It's in the mail.
Yeah, I'm not going to open that shit.
Well, then how are you
You're
expecting
never gonna
to
get
the
to fucking
card?
go to the
Well, I'm
movies.
going to do it when we do a podcast and go through mail.
Good, let's never do it. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm never doing that podcast.
Good.
Midnight says, dude, Snoopy is the best. What?
Snoopy's pretty great.
I kept calling Snoopy Snoppy intentionally.
Oh. Should we read some least anticipated podcast of the week?
No.
Or what? Oh, you want to read
I was
comments
just giving a suggestion.
from
Do whatever you want.
the fat? No, we do whatever you want around here, Chet. Let's say 53 comments.
That's a lot of comments.
Oh, there was just a good one. Adam Brownbird says, it's like so soon. I'm super pumped.
Him and his wife took me out to dinner. Good people.
Oh.
That does make them
That's
good
an
people.
abuse of your fame.
No, they said we want to come up and take you out to dinner. I said drive on up from
Here?
San Diego. Yeah,
Why didn't they take us out to dinner?
because
I often wonder that. I mean,
The fuck?
yeah, like we're not even.
sorry.
Jesus.
Octoblogity says this is one of the more pleasant surprises I've ever experienced. I wish I didn't live on the other side of the country.
Fix that shit.
Chet Wild says 7:30 a.m. Up all night with the help of many. Just finished.
Why do I?
I'm going to take a 60-minute
this.
nap. In the event I don't wake,
I
just
didn't
have
even fall asleep.
Mike Stanton zap me through the CPAP machine.
'Cause he watches me
He's
sleep.
watching me through. I hope you all like what we created.
You created that band?
Yep.
Yeah, Chet created Fastball. Yeah.
In
I'm
sixth
proud
grade.
of you, Chet.
Thank you.
I
I
appreciate
did a
your
rare thing, made
tenacity.
myself vulnerable, and took ownership of being proud about something, and then
I'm
I am
glad.
proud
That's
of your
staring at me.
tenacity.
I'm glad you pitched this concert.
because it's a fastball. Strike three, Jeff.
Shit.
I'm the king of comedy.
I guess we should end on that.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac.
Hot fucking riffs from Jeff May to close out the show.
Burr, 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 burr.
Hey, September 20th, come to the next Unpops live show at the Alex Theater in Glendale, 7:30 p.m. Doors open, 8 p.m. the show starts. It's such a fun goddamn show.
Yeah, it is.
The crowds are great. The venue is dope. And the lineup next show is fucking amazing. Lori Kilmartin headlining.
She's a killer.
Greg Edwards, Josh Denny, Connor McSpadden,
Fuck.
Keith Carey, Travis Clark, and me.
Oh, treat sack.
Treat Sack, bringing the jokes to the next Unpop show. So everybody come out to that. It's free. Go to eventbrite.com and search Unpops, and
He
you
owes me
can
pancakes.
reserve a spot. What else does everyone else have to plug?
Mint on Cards, the second Friday of every month.
Edit that out, Brett.
Next show is October 13th. We got an amazing lineup. Just added John Ozele on there. What?
Is he in LA now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atif Myers, Danielle Perez, Dan St. Germain, TJ Chambers, and Christine Madrano. It's a hell of a lineup. Plus, we get drop-ins. This Thursday, I am doing a fundraiser on the 14th. Trekkies for Texas. At Flappers at 7:30 at the Yoo-Hoo Room. That's Thursday the 14th. I have tweeted and shared a lot of the links to get discounts to that ticket. Let's come see some nerdy comedy and raise some money to help people that are, starving and in bad water.
Vanessa.
Thursday, September 14th, I'm doing Broke LA's comedy and story poker at the Think Tank. Think Tank Art Gallery.
Pick a different show.
On September 16th, it's not actually a show, but the Catalyst Convention has me as one of their panelists for a panel about sex positivity and humor.
More like the panelist convention.
So come on by. It's called the I forgot the book. It's about sex and comedy, but it's me and Ken Cosby and some other fans. No, he's actually his nephew.
I'm positively gonna have sex with some of the ladies.
He's not Uncle Bill. He's anti Uncle Bill.
You see what my uncle did wasn't fully illegal at the time. Come see me with Vanessa Gritton.
Chet, do you have anything to plug?
Fastball. You can watch the live stream if you donate $10 next Monday, the 18th, and check out the Indiegogo. You can get stuff signed by Jeff. How exciting is that?
Yeah, my
It'll be signed in crayon.
And by Vanessa.
That's actually not very
And
exciting.
by Adam.
in Sharpies.
And by me and Connor and Danger.
I signed mine in Sharkies.
And then I'm going to be in Europe. I just decided yesterday. I'm going to be in Europe. Norway the first 5 days, and then London the second 5 days.
Chet, you don't need to plug your vacations.
No.
Killing
I'm
pilot
plugging my
whales.
vacation because I mentioned Norway casually last podcast, and then somebody immediately emailed me about it watching the live stream. So I want to do comedy shows in Norway and in London. So if there are people that know about comedy that are suggestions, please let me know.
I told you to ask Maria Shahada.
I will.
That's all you need to do.
Okay.
She's huge out there now.
All right.
She's the Ricky Gervais of London.
No shit.
Yeah.
No, she's funny.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, fuck Ricky
Most of her
Gervais.
material is about being an atheist.
I wrote The Office and I don't believe in God.
God, I hate him so fucking much.
I just wear black t-shirt.
Oh, I'm so cheeky when I host the award shows.
Oh, look, you all like me for some reason.
Oh, I'm going to say naughty jokes.
Look at me. Oh, it's a guy that doesn't believe in God's me, darling.
Did you know this?
Terrible impression.
Hello, my name's Ricky Gervais.
I'm Richard Gervais. I used to be in music bands.
I don't believe
was a
in.
drill.
I don't believe in the Lord. I don't.
The Office is me show, it is. And now he's on the one with the midget.
The one with the guy with the that guy.
Yeah, fuck Ricky Gervais.
I hate Ricky Gervais.
Stephen Merchant's great, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Fuck yes.
Chet,
Oh, I'm so tired.
say goodbye.
No.
Chet, say goodbye.
No.
Vanessa, say goodbye.
Goodbye on behalf of me and Chet.
Jeff, say goodbye.
You get the Chet Wild rookie card, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you.
Don't leave.
I don't love shit. I'm a hateful, spiteful bitch.
All right, wave goodbye to the live stream. Live stream, I will
What the
put.
live stream say? We
Bye.
didn't look at the comments.
Yeah, it's like a
You
Well,
slept through it.
I'll put the link to Vanessa and John Fahey are going to stream Take a Walk after this. So if you're watching this here live stream, I will put the link to that in the comments, and then you can come back. That's starting. You're recording at 7:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
7th Hertie. She has to take her 7th to the dentist.
Oh man, that was a good one. That was rich. All right, here is comments. The link to I already closed out of that one. That's a problem. Here we go. All right. There it is. Or it's also posted on Patreon. Yeah, we'll be back at 7:30, and by that I mean Vanessa Gritton and John Fahey. I'm going to go edit least anticipated podcast of the week.
I'm going to go feed some cats that don't like me that much.
Jeff's going to go feed cats that don't like him that much. All right. Now say goodbye to the live stream, everybody.
Never.
Bye.